Laban, I don't think that we're in our kitchen anymore.
No, we're not. We're in the basement of Belmont United Methodist Church in Roanoke, Virginia, and this is the church.
And they're ready for a lot of good eating. I'm going to tell you that right now.
This is the church that I was born in. I was christened in this church.
You were born here?
I was born right in, no.
He's
Don't
already
confuse
told
me.
his first lie.
But I got to tell you, the real truth is, no, it was, in the room right next to where we are now, my Aunt Lillian, who was known as Sister Johnson, kept the nursery for over 70 years. She was a little teenager.
Weren't the kids right old by that time?
Oh, they were ancient. She had grandchildren.
He didn't get it.
No,
anyway.
Yes, I did get it, but I chose to ignore it. But anyway, we're in the church basement because there are certain individuals out there that have made fun of us and have said terrible things to us about not knowing anything about churches and making fun of taking congealed salads to the church socials and things, not knowing that both of us in our younger years were regular church attenders, graduated from Sunday schools, and went to millions of church socials.
And Laban's minister is going to be...
I was christened in this church.
You were born here?
I was born right in... No.
He's
Don't
already
confuse
told
me.
his first lie.
But I got to tell you, the real truth is, no, it was, in the room right next to where we are now, my Aunt Lillian, who was known as Sister Johnson, kept the nursery for over 70 years. She was a little teenager.
Weren't the kids right old by that time?
Oh, they were ancient. She had grandchildren.
He didn't get it.
No,
anyway.
Yes, I did get it, but I chose to ignore it. But anyway, we're in the church basement because there are certain individuals out there that have made fun of us and have said terrible things to us about not knowing anything about churches and making fun of taking congealed salads to the church socials and things, not knowing that both of us in our younger years were regular church attenders, graduated from Sunday schools, and went to millions of church socials.
And Laban's minister is going to be here at the end of the program, and we're going to be asking him some questions about how long it's been since he's seen Laban in this church. It's been a while, but I was walking around. We're going to see the sanctuary later on with those beautiful windows.
Yes.
I've been all over this church in the last half hour, and it's a gorgeous church. Tell them what the name of it is.
I did already.
Did you?
Belmont Methodist.
So anyway, now I'm an old disciples of Christ, but I felt real comfortable walking around here. I really did. I felt real good.
But we're in the kitchen of the social hall.
But I noticed.
Yes.
Walking down the hall, they have a whole series of photographs of people way back in the teens and the 20s. And I know that one of those in the 1700 series was you.
No.
It just looked like a little Laban.
No.
I'm going to make this show is bless whoever.
Well, it was Andre.
And it's a good place to be blessing people. Orange Delight. Orange Delight sent in by Karen Janney of Burlington, New Jersey. Now, I didn't know they had these kind of recipes in New Jersey. I thought this was a southern dish.
No. As a matter of fact, we're doing 4 orange congealed salads
More
today.
than you could possibly. I'm congealed
some
already.
of them are better than others.
Well, I am so proud of mine because I didn't know I was capable of doing such a thing as what I've brought today.
And I am doing the wildest salad I've ever seen called the Tang salad, and it's actually made with Tang, there it is.
Oh.
And it was sent in by Pamela Bowles of Kingsport, Tennessee. And I'm also going to whip together an orange salad.
Sort of runny-looking stuff that we see here?
Yeah, that's the Tang salad. But the real prize is the orange salad that was sent in by Francis Phelps of Roanoke, Virginia.
That maybe I hit Jamison Avenue with his salad just a little too hard.
It's all over the place. But if you'll let me get started on mine real quick, because I just have to throw together a bunch of stuff. These are both real easy. A 15-ounce can of pineapple tidbits, and I did get the right size can and size. And I found out that the difference between a tidbit and a chunk is about 1/4 of an inch. And 2 cans of mandarin oranges, and these are the 11-ounce cans, and this is a 15-ounce can of tidbits that probably 2 years ago was the 16-ounce can. Okay. And you got to open them up, and you're going to reserve the juice from the mandarin oranges. So that's all.
My lovely assistant Doris is helping me out on the other side of the kitchen. She has boiled 2, well, it looked like it started out as 2 cups of boiling water. I believe it is now down to about 1.5. And the first thing we have to do is open 2 big old fangs of orange Jell-O. I just love this. I was just up to my neck in Jell-O yesterday, so we're going to do that. This was boiling only a few hours ago,
Doris,
so
where is it?
should be okay. Back there. 2 of those,
a lot
and we
of empty
have to.
cans at the end of this one.
Oh, there'll be millions of empty cans, and we have to dissolve 2 packages of this stuff in boiling hot water, which this once was. So that's what I'm going to do right at the moment. Oh. It's real orange looking. There's no 2 ways about that. Now, also, you have to open up 2 cans of mandarin orange and drain out the syrup and put it in the bottom of a nice dish, like so. And we'll be doing the first half of this recipe in just a couple of minutes. And just sort of spread those out. Make sure you got your little oranges all over the place. And you can be real particular about it if you want to get your fingers in there like I'm doing right now. There we are. That's lovely. Now, thinking ahead a little bit on this.
Which is always good for you.
You're supposed to put half of this into overtop your mandarin oranges and then put it in the refrigerator for a half hour. Well, we don't have a half hour to wait around for that to happen. So I brought along some ice cubes to speed this gelatinous process. Did you know you could do that, Laban?
Yes.
And it's a good thing to do, too.
All right. Well,
go ahead.
All right. Now, I've got my 1 cup of reserved mandarin orange juice, which just happens to be the amount that's left over from the 2 11-ounce cans. Doris has taken my picture. It doesn't seem natural. And to it, I'm adding 1 cup of pineapple juice, unsweetened, but it is not the cup that is reserved for some reason from the pineapple slices. And to it, I'm going to add a box of instant vanilla pudding. Now, I personally think that this is one of the major things that's wrong with this recipe because it's too much. Yeah, because it's too much liquid in this thing to go with the pudding. I think you really need a great big thing of Jell-O pudding, vanilla, instant pudding, but I'm doing it the way it was sent in. So you add that in there. So now I've got a cup of mandarin orange juice and a cup of pineapple juice and the vanilla pudding all in there, and I'm going to stir it up real good.
Well, while you're doing that, I have to take half of this Jell-O and pour it over top of my... Now, those are just ice cubes. Don't get excited, folks. The big lumps are ice cubes. And you pour that in there like so. Now, what you would do under normal conditions... That is the loudest bowl I have ever been around in my life. I'm going to be deaf by the end of the show. What you would do under normal conditions is you would take that and put it in your refrigerator for a half hour so that sets up real firm, because you don't want to add the real big second half of it until it's all set up real nice. Don't bring it over yet, Doris. It didn't call for it. My lovely assistant is just, she's trying to get things done too fast. Here,
all right, now, let me jump in here for a second.
Jump in.
I've got to add 3 tablespoons of Tang. Now, the Tang now comes in these little individual packages, but I measured them, and it turns out that 3 tablespoons are 2 of these little thingies of Tang. So you have to add your Tang in at this point. Andre is just about half dead with a cold over there.
I never realized that these desserts were this much trouble, and suddenly I realized why I don't do them.
Thank you. Go ahead. Hit it.
What?
Don't you have another thing to
Well,
do?
yes, in a medium bowl, which I remembered to bring with me, mix together cream cheese, and it calls for a 4-ounce cream cheese. I used half of this yesterday, and I'll use the other half. 4 from 8 is 4. So there it is, right there. That goes in there. And a third of a cup of mayonnaise, which I'm just going to get. Are you going to stop scratching on that soon? He has just scratched my nerves wrong.
All right, well, no, I'm going to start adding my fruit to this recipe. So there goes the orange.
Oh, look, I've got orange stuff all over my recipe. Mayo. Oh, and a pineapple. Big old can of crushed pineapple.
Oh, yours is crushed as opposed to my tidbit.
Now you got to mix that all up real good at this point. If you don't, you'll have a mess on your hands and you'll regret it for the rest of your life, or at least till the meal's over. So I'm going to mix that around real good.
All right, now I'm adding my pineapple tidbits, which I have just added, drained them, added them. Here they are, and this is your Tang salad. Now, this is the way it looks when you finish. I got to tell you, this is the way it looks after it's been in the refrigerator.
And in my car for about 3 weeks.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I got to add something else to it. No, I got to add the pecans to it. Anyway, here it is.
What's got pecans?
I got to add a cup of chopped pecans.
Well, it smells good.
Well, it does smell good, but it just doesn't set up right, and I contend it's because there's not enough instant pudding mix in it, but who knows?
Now, you got to be careful to mix this because you don't want someone to get a big old wad of cream cheese, so make sure you smush that cream cheese down.
Stuck in their throat.
That's right. We don't want that to happen. This is going much better than it did yesterday. I think I'm getting good at this.
Well,
I might start doing this for a living. Now you got to add at this point, you got to add 1.5 cups, no, you got to add a cup of whipped topping. That's
Whipped
close enough.
Topping.
Here, Doris, take that home to Harold.
The baby.
And put that in there. Now, you know anything with all of this in here just couldn't be bad at all.
Well, now that I've finished the Tang salad, I'm now going to make the orange salad, Larry.
Terrific.
And I have to start out with, guess what? Another can of mandarin oranges, and we're going to drain this one too.
People seem to be right big on mandarin oranges on these recipes. I wonder what they do without them.
And you put those into a bowl. And then you add to it another can of pineapple tidbits. Actually, this says chunk pineapple, but since this one turned out all right, I didn't see the difference in spending extra money for chunk pineapple when pineapple tidbits is the same thing, just a teeny little bit smaller. What? Oh.
I need to get rid of these ice cubes. They're in my way.
Okay.
Now, next to the last thing you do on this is you add the remainder of your Jell-O, which should have set up a little bit more than this, but I can't wait for a half hour on television. We do this stuff in real time here on TV, so there's just nothing much we can do there, Jim. That's real hot. You're going to burn yourself. Good. Now mix that with it also. And we're going to put this on top of the other mixture, which should have been well set up by now, but of course this is all going to float to the bottom because it's not. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to pretend like that is all set up. You'll see the final product here in a minute. Go ahead.
All right. I'm now going to add a cup of sour cream, so that's half of this pint-sized package, to my can of pineapple and my can of mandarin oranges.
You know, I think this seemed like so much more work yesterday than it does today because I was baking a lemon pie at the same time.
Oh, no, that's true. I did. Stuck on lemon pies. You made
Doris got me started on lemon pies a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't stopped eating lemon pies since, as you can probably tell.
All right, now I've added the cup of sour cream. Now I'm going to add 8 ounces of whipped topping.
Oh, no. There's enough whipped topping here to feed half of Southwest, Southeast, Northeast,
we can
Northwest.
call them in off the street. Look at this. All right, now here's a perfectly good container for saving for leftovers so the crew can take plenty of this home with them. Now, I want to turn this over just a little bit.
I wondered what he was going to do to the crew today.
Now, next I have to add a small package of orange Jell-O.
I have to finish mine up whenever you get a chance.
All right, well, go ahead.
The grand finale is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if this were real...
Now, wait a minute.
What?
Don't tell me your grand finale is miniature marshmallows.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Well, so is mine.
Well, they have to be.
Well,
they have to be. Now, if this were real set up, real hard, you would then take it out. See, this is going to go to the bottom because it's not ready, but we're going to go on ahead and pretend like it is. Put that on top, and it would stay on top because that'd be like rubber. And then, when you get finished with that, then you do a nice little artistic sprinkling of marshmallows on top. Try not to get them all over the floor. And there you go. And put that in the refrigerator for about a half hour to an hour before you serve it. Mine has been in the refrigerator all night because I wanted all that delightful, marvelous flavor to go all the way through it. Well, I didn't want you to miss anything.
Now, now look, here's mine, but Marlene, no, what's her name? Frances.
Marlene?
Marlene. I used to date Marlene Best.
She's waiting upstairs in the sanctuary for you.
Here is...
been sitting there for 40 years waiting for you.
Oh, here is... longer than that. I got to add miniature marshmallows to this, but Francis didn't tell us how much. So I'm adding about half a thing of miniature marshmallows, and I brought my Andre, get over it. Look at Andre, he's over here all to pieces. It's just terrible. I've got miniature marshmallows, and I'm putting a clothespin on here so they don't go bad. You never know when you might have to add them to something on this show. And you stir all this around, and when you get through, this one is all finished, Larry. It's just like the one that's chilled in the refrigerator overnight.
This one's got Jim Hammerstrom's name written all over. Boy, those young'uns of his will love that. They'll be doing the backstroke in it later on.
They'll be flipping
Look
off
at
the
this.
walls.
That's what it looks like when it comes out of the refrigerator all prettified,
Now
which
look-
really isn't that much different from the way it was before.
Right, now look at this
Except
one.
it's ready.
Isn't this pretty?
I'd love to just jump in there.
I know you would, and I'd love for
It
you
just
to
looks
do
so
it.
soft and
Now,
fluffy.
here's the one you see that I brought. Oh, you
Fluffy.
don't get in there with fluffy again, I'll swear. Here's the one I brought from home that I did yesterday, so it's real pretty.
Well, you know, all this orange is about to open up my sinuses.
Well, good. So, all right, now let's bring in Aunt Doris Ford.
Oh, yes, we can't do it. You know, we can't drag anywhere without her anymore. Come on in here, Doris, jump right in the... Well, look at this. Now, she has cheated and gone... Look at this. She has done a Christmas
Doris.
tree. She always
An
has
orange
to upstage
Christmas tree.
us.
Dang,
She
darn.
has to upstage us.
Well, everything is orange today, and I have orange Jell-O, orange sherbet, and mandarin orange and dream whip, and and the Jell-O mold you got free with the Jell-O. So
Did you
I
really?
didn't. Where'd you get a
Where did
free
you
one?
get
what should I really say?
No.
No.
6 years from now, no one will care.
Did you get it in a grocery
In a
store?
grocery store.
When did you do that?
Well, I had already bought the Jell-O, and I saw the free molds. I had to buy more Jell-O in order to get the mold. But
How much Jell-O did we have to buy?
2.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
2
that is-
cartons?
No, 2 little bottles.
Now, are these real little orange leaves off
No,
one of your trees?
they're chocolate mint.
Oh.
Chocolate mint.
Yeah, I bought all these neat things, and I don't know what to do with them.
They do have a right interesting
Yeah,
fragrance.
they do.
Fragrance. Where'd you get chocolate mint?
I just bought
At
it
the
this
getting
year.
place. Yeah. See, she buys stuff
I
all
buy
the
all
time.
the stuff.
She is a shopper.
You know, I'll bet she got the chocolate mint with this Jell-O too.
I bought the chalk, I bought licorice, and I don't know what to do with any of this stuff. You know,
Licorice?
it's got a licorice flavor.
Oh,
smell to
licorice
it,
mint.
mint.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know when you can use it.
Does it have a chocolate flavor to
No,
it?
it tastes terrible.
To be honest with you, it really does. It's not very good.
I think if you mix it in something, the chocolate flavor might
In
come
fact, I
out.
think I'm going to have a little orange to cleanse my palate.
Well, you know, while we're finishing up this stuff, you know, we ought to take a little tour. So let's take a tour of this lovely church, old church, over 100 years old, and go look at it.
know, I couldn't help but notice that there were no Johnsons listed on the windows.
Well, no, because those people died millions of years ago. And the Johnsons live forever.
Well, you know, they still have place for names up there if you want to give something.
Yes, and we would encourage you to send in your contribution. No, send it in. We need it.
That's
no,
right.
Now, let's run over the recipes.
Oh,
well,
the
anybody
recipes.
that's outside.
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead.
Orange Delight sent in by Karen Janney of Burlington, New Jersey. This is obviously this stuff is universal, these recipes. I thought it was a southern thing, strictly around here. 2 3-ounce packages of orange Jell-O, 2 cups of boiling water, of course that's what you put Jell-O in, 2 11-ounce cans of mandarin oranges, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1/3 cup of mayonnaise, a cup of crushed pineapple with juice, a cup of whipped topping, and 1.5 cups of mini marshmallows.
Right. And the Tang salad was sent in by Pamela Brown of Kingsport, Tennessee. And it has 15 ounces of canned pineapple tidbits, 2 10-ounce cans of mandarin orange slices drained with 1 cup of the juice reserved, 1 cup of chopped pecans, 3 tablespoons of Tang, 1 small package of instant vanilla pudding mix, and 1 cup of pineapple juice. I think it ought to be a big old package of vanilla pudding mix. And then Francis Fouts of Roanoke, Virginia sent in the orange salad with a can of mandarin oranges, a large can of pineapple chunks drained, 8 ounces of sour cream, 8 ounces of whipped topping, a small box of orange Jell-O, and miniature marshmallows to your pleasure.
I should have taken that extra 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, the orange Jell-O mold sent in by Hope Sheridan of Oakland, California, so it shows this is all over the country. 2 3-ounce packages of orange Jell-O, 1 cup boiling water, 1 pint orange sherbet, 1 package Dream Whip, 1 can mandarin oranges drained.
All right, thank you. Now, Mr. Johnson has an introduction to do here at this point.
Well,
just come on in between us here if you don't mind.
This is Sam McPhail, who is the minister of Belmont Methodist Church, and we're glad to see him, and thanks for having us here.
We want you to give some of this delightful stuff a try. I hope he doesn't have some kind of sugar shock over all this.
Oh, let me give you some of this
But
Tang
you
salad.
ministers are used to this, aren't you? Oh, look, that.
Yeah.
She's afraid we were going to miss some of hers, she said, so we wouldn't want
Put
that.
one of those little things.
Oh, you got one right there.
Oh, an ice cube.
Well, I'm going to try some of this. Well, what do you think? He's a minister. He ought to know.
And we'll have to tell the truth.
Of course he
Well,
will.
I always say at the church centers, I'm going to have to try it a second time to really.
Ooh.
It's a universal line with the ministers, so mine says the same thing.
We're trained.
Well, that's good. There's nothing wrong with
Well,
that.
this orange salad with the miniature marshmallows is real good, but it looks exactly the same as Bly's. Can I have some of yours?
Except in a different manifestation of
And I
something.
want some of Doris's. And here's Doris's little plate. Oh, what a lovely gob. Let me try some of
Here,
Doris.
Doris, we wouldn't want you to miss out on a thing. Well, I can't tell his from mine. There.
Well, Doris, yours is very orange.
Isn't it? That's what I thought.
Larry, I can't believe you actually had enough patience to do that.
I'm so proud of myself. You know, patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
No, yours is different. I like yours a lot.
It is a little different. It's hard to
This
imagine.
Tang salad, though.
Yeah, I'm not real wild about
I
the
think
Tang
this
salad.
Tang salad
What do you
needs
think
some
of the Tang
doctoring.
salad?
It's
a little
has a
snappy, isn't it?
distinctive nuance.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said on our show. You can tell he's a man of words. You have a beautiful church, and we thank you for inviting us down today and let us see around. I just thoroughly enjoyed touring around.
Right.
Such beautiful windows and beautiful sanctuary. And Laban, you should be very proud. You have a very lovely church.
It is a wonderful
And
place.
if you're real nice, sometime I'll take you to mine,
Oh, good.
which is a little country church. But anyway, I guess that's about it.
With the orange salads here in the church basement at Belmont United Methodist Church.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
See you around.